Everyone knows them. Lightsabers. When you think of an iconic weapon, what could be more iconic than a lightsaber? But what Disney is doing with them is heading in the wrong direction. If you love lightsabers too, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about the lightsaber, a weapon that once symbolized the pinnacle of Jedi prowess and the ultimate tool for dramatic, high-stakes combat. Building a lightsaber is actually a fundamental part of Jedi training. It's not just about creating a weapon. It represents a Jedi's growth, mastery of the Force, and their transition from a Padawan to a fully fledged Jedi Knight. In Disney's recent Star Wars content, though, these iconic weapons have lost their edge. The lightsaber, once a deadly blade that could cut through almost anything, is now portrayed almost like a glow-in-the-dark baseball bat. Consider the numerous instances where lightsabers pierce through characters with seemingly no lasting consequences. Take Kylo Ren's dramatic stabbing by Rey. This should have been a fatal wound, yet Rey uses her new Force healing ability to fix him up moments later. This overuse of Force healing undermines the significance of lightsabers and makes Qui-Gon Jinn's death seem even more unfortunate. His death was once a profound, impactful moment, but now it feels like a rare exception rather than a significant event. But first, let's talk about Qui-Gon Jinn. His death is a strong contrast to how lightsabers are handled today. Qui-Gon was fatally struck by Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. This was not just a dramatic moment, it was a true, impactful death. Qui-Gon's demise had weight and finality. He was mortally wounded, and unlike many recent characters, he did not come back. This kind of death was once a crucial part of storytelling, showing the real danger and consequence of lightsaber combat. Qui-Gon's death was a significant narrative moment. It underscored the genuine peril and gravitas of lightsaber duels. His passing had profound effects on the characters and the story, highlighting how dangerous and decisive these weapons could be. With Disney's current portrayal, where characters frequently survive fatal lightsaber wounds, Qui-Gon's death seems like a rare exception. The stakes have been lowered, and the powerful symbolism of the lightsaber has been diluted. Let's look at other examples where lightsaber injuries lose their gravity. Reva, the Grand Inquisitor, and Sabine Wren all suffered dramatic lightsaber stabs and survived. The Grand Inquisitor was stabbed and later returned without significant consequence. Reva also survived a deadly wound, and Sabine Wren, despite being gravely injured, was back in action in the very next episode, with no lasting effects. These examples showcase how Disney's portrayal has diminished the lightsaber's impact, turning once deadly strikes into mere inconveniences. This is a far cry from the way lightsabers were depicted in earlier Star Wars media. In the original trilogy and prequels, lightsabers were portrayed with real power and consequence. They were feared, respected, and their use in combat had weight and significance. Games like Force Unleashed and Jedi Knight highlighted their lethal nature, making them thrilling and impactful. Disney's approach has watered down their power, making lightsaber duels less intense and more predictable. Disney's portrayal also extends to the lore surrounding lightsabers. For instance, the Kyber crystal bleeding scene in The Acolyte raised many eyebrows. This not only undermines established lore, but also squanders the opportunity to delve into the dark, intricate traditions of the Sith. That said, I'll give The Acolyte credit for at least one improvement. Characters actually die from lightsaber wounds again. It's a refreshing change, even if the series still has its flaws. Sure, it might take 3 stabs now, but at least they finally die. As we wrap up, let's get one thing straight. Sure, you can survive a stab to the liver, and Star Wars lore does have some explanations. For example, the Grand Inquisitor has a background that somehow justifies his survival. But then you have characters like Reva, who was dramatically stabbed without any medical station nearby, and she just walks it off. At least with Sabine, we see how she was actually rescued and treated. That's some level of consistency. My main issue isn't just with the survival, it's with how Disney is using lightsabers. They've turned one of the most iconic and deadly weapons in cinema into a mere plot device. It feels like they're just stabbing characters in the stomach whenever it's convenient, with no real consequences. Lightsabers are supposed to be dangerous, not just flashy props to shock the audience. Disney needs to stop using them as cheap plot devices and start respecting their legacy. If a character isn't meant to die, don't put a lightsaber through their chest. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. May the Force be with you.